He helicopter kicks a dude through a wall, drops into the splits between two moving trucks, and still has time to flash that grin. Seriously, who else could do that? $3 billion in ticket sales say Jean-Claude Van Damme is more than just a meme. He's the last true action hero who turned a roundhouse kick into pop culture royalty. He wasn't just a tough guy, he was an icon, a phenomenon. So which single moment, which epic move truly proves he's the undisputed king of kicks? Stick around, because we're counting down the wildest highlights that explain why the muscles from Brussels still owns the throne, even decades later. Picture 1988. Hair was big, tracksuits were shiny, and a determined Belgian kid with a black belt dream and barely a dime to his name slipped into Hong Kong to shoot Bloodsport. The budget for the whole movie was probably less than the catering bill for a single Marvel movie these days, but oh, what a movie it was. The story: military vet Frank Dux enters an illegal underground tournament, the Kumite, was supposedly based on fact, though let's be honest, nobody really cared about paperwork once those pulsating drums kicked in and Bolo Young's terrifying pecs started dancing. Bloodsport wasn't just a movie, it was a cultural event, giving us three iconic gifts that still show up in every Van Damme tribute: the glowing-eyed poster that graced countless bedroom walls, the unforgettable "I Love America" yell, and of course, the first on-screen splits that made every guy in the theater wince in sympathetic pain. Here's a fun detail. JCVD actually had to fight the real extras between takes because they genuinely thought Hollywood actors couldn't hit hard. Cue broken noses and lifelong respect for the guy. Overnight, a star was born in a pit of fake blood and very real bruises, setting the stage for a legendary career. Hot off the success of Bloodsport, Canon Films, bless their hearts, essentially asked, what if we just do that again, but with Thailand, a heavy dose of Muay Thai, and a revenge plot so simple, even the headband understands. And thus, Kickboxer was born. Our man, Kurt Sloan, witnesses his brother's spine being brutally snapped by the villainous Tong Po. What's a guy to do? He trains under a wise old master, kicks a banana tree in half, because why not, and eventually paints his boots with the bad guy's face. The training montage here, complete with bamboo sticks, a challenging Muay Thai regimen, and some truly unique drunken dance boxing, became the absolute template for every sports movie that followed. Tong Po's menacing top knot and that chilling line, "You bleed like Miley," still echo in MMA gyms and pop culture references. And get this, there's now a bronze statue of JCVD doing the splits, right there in central Brussels, paid for by adoring fans who wanted their icon frozen mid-kick forever. That's not just fame, that's a legacy etched in bronze. By 1990, studios and audiences were starting to realize that Van Damme could flex more than just his glutes. Lionheart casts him as Lion, a French Foreign Legion deserter who hitchhikes across America, fighting in gritty backyard rings to fund his orphan niece's urgent medical bills. There's no world-ending bomb here, no steroid-fueled supervillain, just a man driven by family trying to pay hospital bills, one bare-knuckle brawl at a time. The fights in this one feel incredibly grime real. We're talking oil-stained garages, neon-lit swimming pools, and that unforgettable rooftop showdown lit only by helicopter searchlights. Critics, surprisingly, actually praised the film's emotional weight, proving that JCVD could sell genuine pathos and a compelling narrative between his signature uppercuts. Fun trivia: the intimidating African fighter who eventually befriends Leon was played by real-life world karate champ Michel Cuisi, who also happened to be JCVD's childhood training partner. Talk about friendship off-screen, translating into some seriously impactful punches on-screen. Fast forward to 1993. Hong Kong's legendary bullet ballet maestro, John Woo, was looking for his big American break, and Universal Pictures needed a poster boy who could do a slow-motion jump while firing two pistols. Enter Hard Target, set in a sweaty, atmospheric New Orleans where rich creeps hunt homeless vets for sport. The film lets JCVD sport a greasy man bun and a Cajun accent thick enough to butter biscuits. The action? Oh, it's pure opera. Motorcycles exploding mid-wheelie, arrows curving like boomerangs, and yes, those iconic doves flying majestically through gunfire. Critics who once scoffed at that kickboxing guy now found themselves comparing Van Damme to screen legends like Steve McQueen for his sheer screen presence and magnetic charisma. The movie might have underperformed domestically, but it absolutely exploded overseas, proving that global audiences trusted JCVD to shoulder auteur style and deliver the goods. Without Hard Target, we might never have gotten Face Off, and cinema would undoubtedly be poorer for it. It was a stylistic turning point, showcasing Van Damme's ability to adapt to a visionary director's unique flair. No ride this wild stays smooth forever, right? The mid-90s delivered a double dose of excess. Double Impact showed off dual Van Dammes, one in spandex, one in denim, both kicking butt, while Street Fighter tried to cram an entire video game universe into 98 minutes of neon nonsense. Box office receipts stayed decent for a while, but budgets ballooned, and JCVD's personal life, very public divorces, substance headlines started to cast a long shadow over the marquee. Suddenly, the splits felt less impressive than the spiraling. Projects started going straight to video, and by 1999, the industry whispered that The Muscles from Brussels was yesterday's news. A relic of a bygone era. He kept working, sure, but the glory days of theatrical blockbusters seemed locked firmly in 90s celluloid. It was a tough period watching a superstar navigate a changing landscape and personal struggles. Then cut to 2008. A broke, exhausted, 47-year-old action relic walks into a bank robbery hostage film and plays himself. JCVD was a revelation. A raw and honest portrayal of a man grappling with his own legacy and mistakes. The film turns the camera inward, delivering an unforgettable 8-minute single-take monologue where he bravely apologizes to the world, to his fans, and even to his own mirrored reflection. Critics at Cannes, usually a tough crowd, gave him a standing ovation. Suddenly, prestigious film festivals wanted the guy who once roundhoused a snake. The film didn't smash financially, but it did something far more important. It rebooted respect for Van Damme as an actor, not just a fighter. Directors from Stallone to James Gunn started phoning him for self-aware cameos, eager to tap into his newfound depth. It was proof that reinvention sometimes means showing the bruises, the vulnerability, instead of always hiding them behind a perfect kick. Just 4 years later, Van Damme swaggers back into the mainstream with The Expendables 2 as the main villain. Slick hair, a gray goatee, and a deliciously evil, knife-twisting delivery of "I'm loving the view." One climactic, brutal showdown with Sylvester Stallone later, and the circle felt truly closed. 80s rivals now sharing the sane senior discount battlefield, proving they still had plenty of fight left. Meanwhile, fans rediscovered his incredible 360-degree spinning kick on a moving Volvo truck on YouTube. With over 80 million views, it was a viral sensation that reminded studios that virality and pure old-school cool often wears a Belgian accent. Recent releases like The Gritty the Bouncer and The Hard-Hitting Darkness of Man show him leaning into a weathered toughness, proving you can certainly age out of doing perfect splits, but you never age out of sheer screen presence and an undeniable charisma. He's found a new stride, embracing his status as a seasoned veteran. Quick timeout. If you're getting a nostalgic calf cramp from all these legendary kicks, do us a solid and pound that like button so YouTube knows you want more retro action deep dives. Drop your absolute favorite JCVD one-liner in the comments below. Yes, even the cheesy ones, we love those too. And make sure to subscribe for videos that keep the 90s alive without any of those annoying VHS tracking lines. From secret tournaments to sci-fi battlefields, Van Damme didn't just build a career. He built a myth on 3 rock-solid pillars. First, his undeniable athletic authenticity. Those are real, full-contact spin kicks you're seeing on camera, no wires needed. Second, his incredible underdog charisma. He arrived in Hollywood with barely $400 in his pocket and a rudimentary English dictionary, embodying the immigrant dream. And third, pure, unadulterated showmanship. Name another star who can pull off a gravity-defying split, a cheeky smirk, and a dramatic sunset silhouette, all in one frame. His films have grossed over $3.3 billion globally, but numbers only tell part of the business story. The real magic, the lasting impact, is purely cultural. He taught multiplex crowds to cheer for the foreigner, to believe that discipline beats brute size, and that redemption stories play best when they're wrapped in a flurry of spinning back kicks. He brought a unique blend of balletic grace and street-fighting grit that was simply unparalleled. So what's the single wildest highlight, the defining moment? For pure explosive impact, Bloodsport still rules the roost. It launched everything, invented the tournament template for a generation, and branded the splits into global memory forever. Yet, if you crave polished Hollywood craft and stylish action, Hard Target is arguably his masterpiece, a collaboration that elevated the genre. And if you want undeniable proof that muscles can carry a deep soul, then cue up JCVD tonight. Whichever ride you pick, one truth remains crystal clear. No one, before or since, splits the difference between balletic grace and bar brawl grit quite like Jean-Claude Van Damme. Thanks for taking this wild, action-packed ride with us. Tap subscribe, share your top pick, and remember, somewhere in the world, a perfectly executed roundhouse is still spinning just for you.